Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Who'd Win in a Fight here on kzomradio. My name is Matt Jarbo and I will be one of your three glorious co-hosts through this battle, pitting fictional characters against each other in a fight to the death. I'm joined by Mark Dixon and Jason Meyer.
What's up, guys?
See, they're here, they're talking, it's awesome, good start. And this week we're going to be matching up two iconic characters. I mean, one of whom has been around now for over 20 years. He's a staple of Americana. I'm talking about Homer J Simpson versus the Family Guy himself, Peter Griffin. So, that's our battle, and it's going to be an epic one, bloody, gory, probably full of some weird homosexual references by Mark, and...
why you gotta qualify that like that?
Because it's true, and you know it.
You don't
Dude, that's all the Dumbledore episode was about.
Yeah.
That it kind of was, yeah. That was the Dumbledore episode.
So.
There's nothing wrong with that, Mark.
Okay.
Feel free to make fun of homosexuality as much as you want. It's a free country. I'm gonna get in so much trouble for saying that.
I never make fun of homosexuals. I make references to homosexual activities in a comedic way, yes. However, I have nothing wrong with their lifestyle. You go, girl. Okay. Moving on.
All right, there we go. Now that the political message is out of the way. So, Simpson versus Griffith. Who would win?
I say open. Griffin. And I'd say that...
I'm going to go Homer J.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Like, Homer can take a cannonball to the gut.
Okay, now, and I was thinking about that Homer can take damage, because wasn't there a whole episode where he just stood there and he wore out another boxer or something because he can't be knocked out?
Yeah, right. Or he also was part of a fucking traveling show where he took cannonballs to the gut.
Yeah.
Never mind all the Halloween episodes where he was killed.
True. So, I mean, and what's the most that Peter has done?
Well, Peter gets in the fights with the giant chicken all the time.
And those are pretty vicious fights. Yeah.
So he has training in knockdown, drag out to the death fights. I mean, a couple of times he killed the chicken and then it came back, but...
Because that's not shoddy writing whatsoever.
Yeah, I know. And don't forget, Peter has his arsenal of vehicles. Like the Peter Copter and the Hinden Peter and the Peter Rang.
Yes, this is true. I will give you that. However, dude, I mean, if Peter Griffin can't even handle killing a chicken, albeit a giant man chicken, if he can't kill a chicken, how is he going to take down the big dog? Okay, Homer J Simpson. Better men have tried to kill him.
See, this is where I think it would kind of just. It would be Peter trying to fight Homer the way he fights the giant chicken, and Homer just kind of taking the blows. So, it's not that Homer would put up a better fight, but Peter may eventually just get tired. I mean, if you look at the fights with the giant chicken, he gets very winded at the end.
Yeah, exactly. So dude, there's no way that he's going to be able to hold his own against Homer J.
That's how Homer would win.
Dude, never mind the fact that Homer Simpson has walked out of nuclear accidents and just been like, yeah, that's over there. Okay, yeah. Dude, it's Homer J. Simpson.
Homer's ass did block a nuclear gas from radioactive gas. There we go. I can talk now.
Yeah, for once his ass prevented the leaking of a toxic gas.
I almost think there wouldn't be a winner. Like, they would just fight and fight and fight, and it would be like the Clash of the Titans, just destined to fight for all eternity, and just there wouldn't actually be a winner or a loser.
See, no, I don't think so, because Peter is the type that he only shows determination for so long. Eventually, he gives up. Because Homer will see things through to the bitter end, even if he because he doesn't know any better. Look at all the shenanigans that Homer's gotten into over the years. Peter is just like, what will Peter do? He'll fall down, he'll scrape his shin, and he'll go, for 5 fucking minutes. And of course, the whole time, Homer will be like, is this your gag? This is your stick?
Yeah.
Go for you. I mean, no, I really don't think that in an open fight, in an open bare-knuckle fight, Peter could beat Homer all he wants. But the thing is, Homer is actually skinnier than Peter.
Yeah,
Homer weighs in at my last memory reference here, 237 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Homer's 237. Peter's got to be at least. Mark, how big are you?
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking fuck. I hope you get cancer of the dick. I hope you get cancer of the dick and it falls off into a public urinal. And you have to pick it back up to get it reattached with public piss on it. That's what, fuck you.
Anyway, so Peter's a good.
Probably Peter's got to be like 300 pounds.
He's got to be like 300 pounds. Not that Mark is 300 pounds, but.
Fuck you. Fuck you so much.
Anyway, so I mean, in a fight, I mean, Homer's definitely like Peter's agile. He can fight the chicken. I mean, and they'll pull off like some insane fight scenes where they like take out, you know, all the like what, they're on a helicopter, they're on a plane, they're through a building. It looks like they're reenacting
a cruise
Lethal Weapon
ship on a bridge. Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
You know, but Homer.
Also, keep in mind, Homer has had multiple runs-ins with organized crime as well. The Yakuza, the Mafia, and he comes out on top.
That's true. And Homer has been kidnapped by Brazilian kidnappers and tortured with cigars and cigarettes. And he slept like a baby that night. Yeah. So he doesn't feel pain. Whereas Peter, again,
you know what I would want to see? You know what matchup I would want to see? Either one of these guys versus Pam from Archer.
No, they wouldn't be able to fight. Oh God, Pam from Archer. She'd rape them.
I know, she's fucking bare knuckle boxer. She's killed people with her bare hands. That's awesome.
She's a drift racer for the Yakuza.
Exactly.
But we're not talking about the
Try
awesomeness of Pam from Archer. So we'll get into the holy shit snacks down the road. I guarantee that.
Shit snacks.
Right, because we're all big Archer fans here on the show. So. Okay, so, you know, they would be able to fight each other. I think, you know, it would be a long fight. This would be like...
Yeah, it would go on forever, yeah.
You know, but I think that Homer is prone to pain. Think about when he fought the guy Bart's big brother, and he got pushed back and landed on a fucking fire hydrant. And
had to break his spine to stop that fight.
But Homer also fell down the canyon when he tried jumping the ravine, skateboarding over the Springfield... what's it called?
Springfield Gorge.
Springfield Gorge, and he fucking fell twice and survived.
Yep.
And he landed all the way down. Peter has not hurt himself like that.
Peter's died 3 times.
Yeah, he has. I just watched an episode where he got he got in a wreck and he went through the windshield up against the tree.
Yeah.
And God, what was that? And Death showed him something. Anyway, well, okay, here's the thing with Peter. Death keeps coming in to save him and giving him more chances.
That's true.
So, okay, Peter and Homer would get in a fight, and Homer would hold out, but then if Homer killed Peter, Death would just come back and revive Peter. But Homer is still worn out and working on that same first life. So, because of the of Death on his side, you have to give it to Peter.
Yeah, there was also the episode, though, where Homer was Death.
That's true.
What you got? Oh, that's nothing.
That episode, but he's not Death anymore.
But there's also an episode in season 1 of Family Guy where Peter was Death and had to kill James Vanderbeek in the cast of fucking Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, I know.
Right, and so
real original writing.
Wanted for plagiarism.
No.
Simpsons did it.
Well, we're not going into South Park. That's a different mindset completely. But you know, I think that if you break down how the guys are, like, really, Homer has got more battles on his sleeve than I think Peter does. Homer's, you know, his actions are oafish and stupid, and they cause more physical harm to him, which builds up a tolerance. Whereas Peter is just insensitive and likes to, you know, make fun of boobs and where shit comes out of one's butthole.
The side boob hour.
You know, milk lemonade around the corner, fudge is made. That kind of sums up Peter's mentality. But it's kind of interesting that you brought up the idea of Death helping him out. I was going to ask this: what do you think we would do? Could we bring in sidekick characters? Could there be, you know, like if Peter has Death, is it possible that you know, that Homer could have like Moe, because Moe always carries a shotgun, or, you know, Duffman is thrusting in the general direction of the problem. You know, I mean, could he bring... What about Bart? Bart always has a slingshot. Could be good from sniping from a distance.
Dude, I'd love to see Bart versus Stewie.
Stewie would win.
Yeah.
Stewie would fucking win in a heartbeat. But no, the key would...
The better matchup would be
Stewie versus Cartman.
No,
Stewie versus
versus
Cartman.
Maggie. Maggie's shot people
Ooh,
before
Stewie
she
versus
still.
Cartman. Oh, that has to be a future episode.
That's okay. We're calling it now. Stewie versus Cartman feature episode.
Yes.
That will be coming up soon. But I just think that if you know, like, okay, let's break it. Like, you know, they've each got like around the same age. They both dress very similarly, right?
Yeah.
The only thing is Homer is a traditionalist. He's kept the same job for 20 plus years, right? He never really gives up on trying to, like, you know, like on the dieting, on the eating healthy, and he can take a beating. But Peter is so, you know, fly by the seat of his pants. He'll change everything he's doing if somebody doesn't like something that he's doing, right? So that could be a thing. Just on a mental game, Homer's in it for the long haul, right? Homer has the longer resolve because he'll put up with more shit. If a fucking, you know, shiny light goes past Peter, he'll follow it around.
Yeah.
Although Homer will do the same thing depending on what's going on.
Beer.
See, I don't know. I feel like every argument we can come up with, you can come up with the same argument for the other one. That's why I feel like this is the fight that could go on forever and never have a winner.
That's because they're the same character.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that is true. And there's a reason why one was canceled for fucking 6 years. So,
No.
okay, so I think it's gonna this one kind of feels like it might be a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw. I know that's probably a cop out, and everybody's going, "Ah," but yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not meant
Fucking,
to.
it's not a fucking draw. Homer Simpson would beat the piss out of fucking Peter Griffin. No question. No question in my mind. Okay. There you go. I'm just putting that there. I'm just leaving that right there. Just
You
right
just-
on the table.
That's just how it is.
Where everyone can see it, smell it. That's what that is. That just happened.
Okay, so I guess you know, if we, you know, draws are out of the question, because if we're not all unanimous draw, then we have to, you know, I've you know, I know you're gonna say
That's why there's fucking 3 of us, asshole. Okay.
yeah. Okay,
Know
so
your,
I've got to
know your math.
Two
Know your
draws
math.
and a homer means it's a draw. It has to be majority rules, right?
yeah. So if you guys are saying well, Mark says
No. We can't pick a fucking draw. None of us can pick draw. Okay, one of us. We each have to pick one. Okay, none of this draw bullshit. No, it's not how it is. That's not who win in a fight.
Well,
Because
I don't know
if the
Homer-
answer is nobody would win in a fight, then nobody would win in a fight, and these shows are pointless. But we have these shows,
all right.
someone has to win.
I don't know if Homer is aggressive enough to just beat the piss out of Peter Griffin. Like, aren't there whole episodes about how he's, you know, gentle at heart and all of this?
Well, yeah, but there's also instances where he's beaten people.
Yeah.
that is true. That is very true. I got to give it to Homer, and this is a biased answer. I will fucking fully admit this. I have been a fan of The Simpsons since the fucking late '80s. I've grown up with Homer. I've seen everything that he's done, and I think that, you know, Peter Griffin is kind of a bitch. You know, like, honestly, it's like I don't care for his character. I want Homer to crush his skull into the ground. I want to see this happen. I'm sorry, Seth MacFarlane. I love your shows, but Peter's kind of a punk.
And we all know American Dad is better anyway.
Yes, it is. Calling that now. American Dad is a much better show than Family Guy.
Yeah, what if we throw Stan in this fight?
No.
That's totally different now.
Because Stan would kill both of them.
Yeah.
Because he would just shoot them and not care.
Yeah, he would. And it'd be over.
That would just be, that's their, he would just claim that they're against America. Because Homer's got the picture of him being a communist.
Instead of throwing Stan in, we should throw Roger in.
Roger would just shit gold and throw it at him.
There'd be a lot of butt stuff happening.
There'd be a lot. There'd be a lot of probing. There'd be a lot of anal exploration. That's for who'd win in a fight after dark.
After dark. It's time to put away the
fucking puppets. Yep. All right, so I think we called it. I'm calling Homer. Mark calls Homer.
Yeah,
Jason, you're calling Peter. So we'll do that. But it was a tough one. It's a tough one. And it, you know, these arguments, they lead into this kind of stuff. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening. All of you at home, be sure to tune in to kzomradio.com for more episodes. You guys can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Zune, YouTube. We are all the the fuck over. And we'll see you next week for another funny episode of Who'd Win in a Fight. See you guys later.
Peace out.